All right, guys, so today, that's crooked. That's better. I think that's better. Maybe back further. I think that's, there we go. I'm trying to get it a bit wider for you guys. Maybe I can, that way. Maybe, we're getting close, I think. All right, so today we're looking at a kind of a cool little device. And this could probably be used for, well, a couple different things. Doing panoramas, doing just some tracking of yourself, using it in collaboration with your phone or whatever to do YouTube videos, or just doing like conference calls or whatever, because we're always kind of moving around. And we even saw with the iPhone, the iPad, the new iPad mini, I think, in the new iPad, and I think the Pro does it as well. They have this center stage, so it kind of sees you, and as you move, because it crops in a little bit with the ultra wide, it has that ability to kind of shift around a bit. So get that motion tracking. But what if we could just have a device that just does that tracking for us? Yeah. So Telesin has this auto face and object tracking cameraman robot holder. It's only about like $50 Canadian, $56. Price is fluctuate a little bit. I have seen it a little cheaper, around the $50 mark. So, but 57 right now is still not bad, and that's Canadian. So we're going to test it out. That's it here, and I have a mini selfie stick. I think these come together. This was sent to us from Telesin. So yeah, we're gonna try it out. I wanted to see, I'm curious to see how much weight it can hold. So I'm gonna put my mirrorless on it. That may be a little heavy, but we'll find out. And that'll be today's video. All right, guys, coming up. So right now it's getting 4 stars, 4 out of 5 stars, 38 ratings. I have read some of them. You guys are more than welcome. I'll put links to this website up there too. Whereas some people were like, oh, it broke. Everyone, and the other people are, I love it. So I don't know. Take it as you will. I've used Telesin products before, from batteries to mostly GoPro accessories. A lot of GoPro accessories, and they've been actually quite good. But I won't have a chance to really talk to you about long-term stuff right now. We're just looking at features, but I encourage you guys, if you're watching this video and you have played with it, let us know your thoughts. Be nice, because you know what? Everybody gets a bad product on occasion. But if your experience was whatever, let us know. And if my experience changes over time, I will always leave a comment down below as well. All right, so this is what you get. So first off, you get a little mini selfie stick tripod for phone. It says for phone and mirrorless cameras. It does say it right on the box. You guys can see it, right? Phone and mirrorless cameras. So I have a phone and a mirrorless camera. And they show it with a GoPro, which makes sense because, like I said, Telesin has a lot of GoPro accessories. So curious to see how good this little tripod is. My hope would be it would be decent. It's in there. Why is it in there so much? What's going on here? It doesn't even make sense. This little cardboard thing on the bottom that was holding it in. Weird. Okay, there it is. So it's a little tripod. It's I would say the only piece of maybe metal. Nope, that's not even metal either. I think it's all just plastic. But if it's only supposed to hold, you know, like your phone or your GoPro, then it should be fine. This is going to stick out like this. It's got a little bit, does it have a little bit of a lift? Can you spin that? Oh yeah, so a little tiny bit of a lift. Not a lot, but a little bit. Enough just to kind of get you by. All right, so you guys can maybe see that, maybe not. Move that over here. So that's kind of it right there. Yeah, that's fine. It's a little throwaway. Now, the one thing I'm not a fan of. See how this piece is down here, which is what holds the the neck piece? That can't ever come up. So if you're on uneven ground where there's like a rock or something, this can get in the way, right? Because you're like, oh, I need to stand it. Well, minor gripe, sure, but for this, I'm guessing it should be fine. Let's just put that right there. All right, now for the big part, smart tracking unit. This is the unit, and I'm guessing this has, I think this has its own battery in it, so it charges. Again, based on some of the reviews I read, they were like, oh, it's nice that it has a battery. So I don't think they'd be lying to me. They might be. Who knows? Anonymity. It has its pluses and its minuses, right? People take advantage of it all the time. All right, what's in here? So we have just the cables, possibly. I'm guessing. Move that over here for a bit. So you get a tiny little remote. Now the remote does it have a battery in it? Yes, yes it does. Now the one thing that's not on it, there's no covering to protect the battery from usage while it's sitting in here. So just realize if you don't use this for like X amount of time, the battery could be dead because there's no cover. If you got it like me, I got this like, I don't even know, a couple weeks ago. And I'm hoping this battery is functional, but it looks pretty simple. It's got a right and left icon on it. It's just pretty standard, right? Right and left icon on it. Looks like a little record and maybe another record at the bottom and another button here. Doesn't have a lot on it, so there's no like manual or like a lot of. That was a complaint, actually. I'm rambling. It was a complaint about this being like there's nothing on it that tells you what the buttons do, and I get what they're saying. USB A to USB C, decent length, so that's handy. And this is your manual, and it comes in 2 different languages. It looks like. Remote control installation optimal distance. They do say, I believe it should be within, they say 8 meters. So within 8 meters for it to focus. And I think it says it should be outside or greater than about 1 meter. So you get a bunch of stuff in here. Install, we'll look at that. Remote control settings, power button, charger. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, well, the big one for me is just going to be this remote control, and I'll be completely honest with you here. I'm not a big fan. You guys see this right here? I'm not a big fan of gray text, especially when it's small on here, because maybe it's supposed to be like blackish, but it's gray. So I'm taking a picture of this because I can't read that really. So there we go. That'll bring that up a little bit more so I can at least read that. Indicator light, so you guys see that better? It gives you an idea of what this is kind of saying. That's on one side, and then that's on the other side. Again, hopefully you guys can read that. I'm going to be using this on. Cool. And last but not least, my guess is, last but not least, will be the actual little robot, they call it. And that's it, right there. Seems decently built. It's not crazy heavy, but heavy enough. There's your USB for charging. There's your, I'm guessing, your power button to turn it on. Your little camera to be able to figure out and do all of its sensing and tracking of a person. Now, the one thing that I would make sure you are aware of, everybody's in the review kind of spoke of this, is that if you're using the tracking functionality, it really should be like the camera and one person. Once there's multiple people, it's just like, I don't know who I'm supposed to track, which kind of makes sense. If there was an app that you could like highlight which person, that would maybe take it a bit further. But really it's great for maybe this kind of scenario where it's like a camera and me, and I'm going to be moving around and I want this to track with me. So cold shoe, tripod shoe, tripod hole. Let's do this, shall we? Let's get it on here. Is that gonna work? Is that gonna squeeze on there? Yes it is. So that's on. Okay. See, it's a little flimsy. You guys see, I just want to make sure you guys, can you see that down there? It's a little flimsy in there. Not the strongest tripod in the world. So that would be, again, a little concern for if you had a camera that's heavy. Like what I'm gonna do, I'm putting an EOS R on there. Yeah, it says mirrorless. It says mirrorless. This is mirrorless. It's a heavy mirrorless. I don't even know if the tripod will hold it. So we're gonna do that. Is that tripod even gonna hold it? Oh, no. So I'm gonna get a better tripod. Hold on a sec, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back now, but I'm just shooting with this camera. I've turned off the other cameras because this thing's just too big right now. So you see I've got this on a bigger tripod because I want to test it. You know, for me, it says mirrorless, and then we'll do an iPhone test real fast. But I'm gonna put this up here. That's so large, so large. And we're gonna turn it on. I think there's a button back here. It says it's on. Okay. So for one, all the lights are on. All the lights are on. Let's say that camera is framed. Okay. Does it turn? I don't know if I have to put it into a mode. Maybe. Let's just see, shall we? It's making a noise. Turn on or off tracking. Okay, ready? Question is it working at all? I can hear it. I can hear the motor running, but if I hold this, I wonder if the camera is just too heavy. Let's try with a lighter camera, shall we? All right, so I'm back and I've taken a bit of time to try to figure things out. This is cable sitting up there. So number one, I do think maybe that ESR was too heavy because I did hear the motor going a little bit, but it is a big camera. So I've decided to put my ZV-1 on it instead. Hopefully that will be a better mirrorless camera for it because, you know, that's what we want to try. And we are going to actually turn this on. I'll take my cap off. Now it is a ZV-1 with the little wide angle lens on it to help it get, well, just a little wider, and it's a little dirty. So I'm just gonna do that. You should use a better, you know, lens thing, but you get what I'm doing here. All right, and we're gonna bring the screen out here so I can see, just like we would if we were doing this for real. Turn it on. Excellent. And the other issue is, well, I charged it, so that's hopefully is better. I think this battery is this here thing, this right here. I think this is dead as well because, and here's my reasoning. It says an indicator light, and there's no indicator light. Remember I talked about before, my biggest concern, or one of the issues is that it didn't have like a cover on the battery to tell it to not just be discharging for however long it was sitting there for. So I think it's probably just discharged over the life of the battery just sitting in there. So I went out, got myself a set of these lovely little watch batteries at the old dollar store. Yep, the dollar store. So are they any good? I have no idea. Nope. $1.25 for 3. So my guess is not great, but they just need to kind of get us by today. That's it. So we're just putting that in there. Just putting that in. Now, is there a light? I still don't see this indicator light that they speak of. Okay, number one, look at this. There's a little, you guys see it here? There's a little power light. Indicator. Oh, dumb. Maybe this works. There's an on-off switch. There's no on-off switch. Someone was saying that, you know, there's no something in the review. It would just drain, but I don't know if it will if you turn it off. So there is a little light. You guys, maybe you'll see it here if I tap the button. See the little light turn red? Yeah. So that means that it's looking for something. Okay, I'm going to turn this on now. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so this is here. You have a little light that tells it, oh, I think it's searching. It's looking. Yeah. Okay, it's got me. We're looking at the camera. That's got me now. Ready? There it goes. It's turning. Now, the one thing to realize here, it's not the smoothest rotation in the world. Ready? Because if I'm like, go. But it got me. Yeah, that's all right. And I think, like when you're back further, like if you're back here, for instance, and you're moving like subtly, yeah, that's okay. Now, I do think if you had again, a better tripod, because that tripod's got a little loose on the head, so when it's moving, it's got a little bobble to it. But that's probably something you can fix in post. Oh, that's okay. And I think if you hit this, like the bottom button, you turn the tracking feature off. Yeah, and a little white light, because the white light is on the front, and that white light tells you it's in tracking mode. So now if I move, right, you'll see it's not tracking anymore. Yeah, all coming together. Power, that's excellent. Fresh battery and charged. Now the other one is if I just hold to this to the left, it just it goes at little increments if you just tap. Now if you hold it, she spins. As soon as you let go, it stops, right? That's kind of cool as well. Kind of figure out where you want. Be like, okay, tap, tap, tap. Nice. And if you hold the up button, it goes and just does a rotation all by its lonesome. And it just spins around this way. And if you hit the other button or the down button, as you'll see here, when it finishes, right? Down. It spins the other way. So a few things to check when you're getting this. Number one, make sure, turn the power button on. Oh, idiot. Turn the power button on to see the little indicator. Now, if you turn the power button on and the on is up and it doesn't, then you know your battery's dead. Go get new ones. $1.25, is it wasted? No, because I have a ton of stuff that need these little batteries, so that's okay. Give your little device a charge. So the other one now is, if I'm ready to track, all I do now is hit that little bottom button again, click, and the little white light shows up. And now we're in tracking mode. Oh yeah, we are. Yeah, I think I do. I think if you got a better tripod, so it wasn't, and you guys may be able to see it on this camera over here, like the tripod itself kind of has some movement, right? Because a better tripod would just be, well, it would be better. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you there. Not bad, kind of cool, and it would be cool actually if you were doing, especially let's say with a little ZV-1 or you got your iPhone or whatever, any kind of camera that can do like streaming, because then you could do like a YouTube thing, or you could do maybe like a Zoom call, or you could do any of those kind of things. And if you were teaching or something, you'd be like, let's just go over here, and you'd know it would follow you. Or you could just have the remote and just have it move as you're kind of going. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Now I don't know, again, dependability. I have no idea, but I think we'll probably play around with this for a bit, just because it's kind of cool, and we'll let you know if it decides to break in the comments. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that little notification bell down there, and oh yeah, links. There'll be links for this if you feel like it's the gear, the gizmo for you. And that's all. I'm out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, or tonight, or sometime later. Oh, I didn't even realize that. That's kind of cool. Before I go, you guys stuck around. That's awesome. So if I have the tracking on, which is kind of neat. I have the tracking on, tracking's good, and I move it, and I'm like, oh, go over here, and then I let go, it automatically comes back to find me, locks into me, and recenters itself. Yeah, and be like, just take a look over here, and instead of me having to fiddle around too much. Now what you can't do is you can't get yourself completely out of shot. So if I spin this all the way around like this, it says I don't see you. But as soon as I come close, but there, as long as I can get me in the shot a little bit, it says, oh, there he is. Let's just go back to him. That's cool. I like that.